Hey VC, take two. How y'all doing? Hanging in there? Cheers. Today's episode of Rodger's Records is brought to you by Anchor Steam Beer. One of my all-time favorite beers. Just some of the most delicious stuff ever brewed up by man. Alright. Got some records. Still playing catch up. Got a lot of records. And so let's just get right into it. Yes, I got the new But Guided by Voices record. And I'm kind of pissed at myself, folks. Let me be honest here. I'm pissed at myself because four singles came out before this came out, and I missed out on every damn one of them. How did that happen? I mean, I'm on their mailing list, and I guess I was overwhelmed or distracted by other things, and so my Pollard completist thing is gone off the rails suddenly, and those things are limited to 500 and they're gone. Can't find them. I mean, last time I looked, there weren't copies on Discogs, they weren't on eBay, they're gone. It's oh man. So it's is it time to get off the Pollard train? Is it time, after I have 3 feet of Pollard Guided by Voices records, getting all kinds of CDs and stuff, is it time to just I can't keep up and it's time to stop? Well, if this record sucked, maybe I would, but it's really good. He just keeps putting out good records, good solid rock records. My only quibble is I wish he'd hire a producer, let someone make it sound really good. Because this is neither the charm of the 4-track lo-fi thing, nor the Rick Ocasek super glossy. It's sort of neither fish nor fowl in terms of sound quality, as a record. But anyway, it's good songs. Some of the strongest songs, some of the strongest singing in a while. He's singing in a high voice and singing in tune. Yeah, good. So I guess I have to keep going with the man. If he's going to keep making good stuff, I guess I'll have to keep trolling eBay and Discogs and get a hold of those singles somehow. God, I hate paying big bucks for 7 inches. Alright, well, whatever. Next. Now, I guess y'all heard about the Pulitzer Prize for Music going to this record. Well, this is the limited edition version of Damn, Kendrick Lamar's Damn, that plays in reverse order. Limited numbered. When it was announced that he won the Pulitzer Prize for Music, I was like, I'm gonna go get the limited version because, apparently it was kind of a thing where when Damn came out, people played it backwards and they're like, hey, it starts to make a different kind of sense if you play it backwards. And sure enough, it's a different experience. Although again, I've said it before, I'm no hip hop expert by any means, and I always feel like kind of a voyeur listening to this stuff. It's not for me. It's not about me. It's not about my life. It's about his life and black life and not privileged white life. But anyway, and so there was quite a controversy about him winning the Pulitzer, as you might imagine. A lot of it is pure racism or classism, at the very least. Only classical and jazz music is music, and it wasn't that long ago that they wanted to give the Pulitzer to Duke Ellington, but it was oh no, not that dance music. So to me it's not that different. And prizes are for children. But anyway, so I'm glad I got this because I think it's now gone, and I think it's a strong work. I don't think musically it's as strong as To Pimp a Butterfly in pure musical terms. Now, I had lunch with my friend today, who's a composer, tenured faculty. He's the real deal. really respected his opinion. He's a very smart guy and as far from a racist as you could possibly imagine. We had a discussion about it, and I'm not going to try to paraphrase because it's impossible, but it's the whole thing's fraud and always has been, and it reveals kind of there's you can try to make up for things by maybe giving a hip-hop album the Pulitzer, but the deep rot is still there. It's not going to change that. In fact, it's going to rile up the racists even more. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Once again, I have to thank Anthony Camplone. Hey, thank man, if you're watching. Hope you're doing well over there in the world of tomorrow. He did a couple of videos ago about compilations, and oh my God, he's got a compilation collection that is like, wow, that is, and he admitted like he loves comps, I'm kind of new to comps, and the VC got me aware of compilations. And so, anyway, so he showed a bunch of things, and it's like, those soul jazz comps, I need this. So I picked some of them up, and it's Deutsche Elektronische Musik 2 record A. There's a record B that I need to find. 2 LP comp of Krautrock, Kosmische Musik, and with big hitters like Can and Popol Vuh and Michael Honig and Agitation Free and Ammo Duel, blah blah blah. But also some fairly obscure things that I'd never heard, in like AR and Machines and DAF, Brocel Machine. Yeah, so really interesting, And as Camplone pointed out, and he's got a killer freaking hi-fi, like truly hi-fi. The pressings and platings and mastering on these things, who cares if they're from digital sources? I have no doubt that they are. I mean, I don't think these labels are just sending analog masters around to whatever label wants to put out a comp. It's probably a digital thing, But they sound great. And Camplone is also right about this, that this is the best one of them all. The third one, triple LP of a little more obscure stuff, and the sequencing and the flow of it is it's great. I mean, for comp, this is really, really listenable. And in fact, all of these are very listenable on their own, but this is particularly 3 LPs of bliss, really awesome. And then finally, this one I'd been eyeballing it for a while, and I'm like, I have those Light in the Attic comps, so I really need this. Yes, I did. Space, Energy, and Light, Experimental Electronic Acoustic Landscapes, 1961 to 1988. You might notice I'm keeping it in its shrink wrap. It says double LP. No, it's a triple LP. And this is awesome. This is, I think maybe I have some of these tracks elsewhere, but again, it doesn't matter because the sound and the sequencing is sublime, and it just makes for a wonderful, a wonderful listen. Just wonderful. So yes, thank you, Anthony, for spending my money. Apparently, the first volume of the Deutsche Kosmische Musik comp has been repressed. I probably need to get that too, right? Yeah, probably. Cheers, Anthony. Alright, here's another comp I found. It's still sealed. This is from the 70s. Filet of Soul on Stax. Yeah, baby. Look at that cover. So, this features Isaac Hayes, Staple Singers, Johnny Taylor, Rufus Thomas, Mavis Staples, Little Milton, The Dramatics, Mel and Tim, Frederick Knight, and the Bar-Kays. This is killer. They kind of pack the sides, and it's like, it kind of has that sort of like K-Tel compilation thing where they really pack each side, so the sound is kind of compressed and quieter than you might want. But since I got this still sealed, and I also cleaned it because it's from like 1973. It sounded good, And I had to think about, I got a shout out to Dr. Rhythm channel, Mark and John. Hey guys. This is just the kind of thing I would imagine might appear on one of your listening sessions. We have some great tracks here, like Isaac Hayes' Never Can Say Goodbye, and also him doing The Look of Love, which is Rufus Thomas doing the breakdown, that kind of stuff. It's really, Stax, 1973. Yeah. Here's another soul shout out to Dr. Rhythm. Another Bobby Womack record, Facts of Life on A&M, no, not A&M, United Artists from 1973. Now, I've said it before, these records are not particularly rare, but they're rare in decent condition. So I got to give Julie, who owned this, originally I assume, she took care of it. And so, while it was really filthy, it cleaned up great and played great. And this is just great Bobby Womack, that kind of country funk, soul. And he does these crazy covers of like All Along the Watchtower and Natural Man instead of Natural Woman, that Carole King song, and these crazy medleys. But it's funky as hell, and it's the whole Muscle Shoals rhythm section, and Bobby Womack, good stuff. All right, jumping across the pond, as it were. This is kind of stands out as sort of unique in this stack of records, but European, kind of a Canterbury thing. Lol Coxhill and Steve Miller. So Lol Coxhill, this guy on saxophones, and this guy, Steve Miller, on this guy on piano and keyboards, but also with Phil Miller on guitar, sometimes with Pip Pyle on drums, and Richard Sinclair on bass. Big names in the whole Canterbury scene. And so what you have here is instrumental music that is kind of like jazz. It's, I would call it like Canterbury jazz, like, a very British take on jazz rock, it's cool, it's quirky, but it's cool. I like it. It's on Virgin from 1973. 73. Can't seem to get out of 73. It was a good year. Yeah. All right. Archie Shepp, The Cry of My People on Impulse from, you guessed it, 1973. On Impulse, ABC Impulse, late period Impulse. I've had this on CD forever, and I love this record. I have to be in the right mood for it. It's not the fire-breathing, avant-garde, Black Power blowouts of some of his earlier Impulse records. This is more of a like gospel soul jazz thing with lots of singing and kind of very, not straight, but very arranged things, and it's really great, but it's not, 4 for Train or whatever. And it's one of those things when I see these kinds of records on Impulse and they're in decent shape and they're not ridiculous money, I buy them, because that's what I do. And so there you go, Archie Shepp, Cry of My People, Impulse, 1973. All right, now here's, how sometimes you go to the record store and there's things that look interesting, but it's like, it's pretty beat up, and I don't know, and you leave empty-handed, and then you go back and it's still sitting there, and you like leave empty-handed, and you go back, multiple times. There's only so many times I can go into a record store and leave empty-handed. You know what I'm talking about, right? So this is a record that, it'd been really fallow, but this is a record that looked really interesting, but it looked a little beat, And I would always pass, and I'm like, oh, well, fuck it. There's nothing else to buy today, and I really want to buy a record, so I'm going to buy this record. And it was like $6, big deal. But, so here, this is what I'm talking about. Horsey Arnold Tribe on Columbia from 1973. Horsey Arnold, or Horace Arnold, I think he would go by Horace. Horsey Arnold, a drummer. I was not familiar with him, actually. He's got Ralph Towner playing guitar, Joe Farrell on saxophone and flute, David Friedman on vibraphones and percussion, xylophone, and George Mraz on bass. Yeah, so great band. Produced by John Hammond, whose golf clubs I used to carry. I caddied for John Hammond several times. I should tell you that story, but this is going on too long. If y'all want to hear the John Hammond story, I'll tell you. Leave a comment. Anyway. So I'm like, that, it looks interesting, And finally I'm like, okay, fine, $6. I don't care. I'm going to bring it home. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to play it and see what it's like. And holy shit, it's great. There's a little bit of crackle on the beginning of each side, But once it gets going, sounds great. Sounds great. And so what is it? What is it? Well, it's a jazz record, If it was slathered with a minute and a half of reverb, it would be perfectly, sit perfectly well on the ECM catalog. As it is, it's, 70s, 70s jazz. It's not, that's trying to it's not like jazz rock, and it's not like super, it's not like Miles, really going for it, it's, trying to balance maybe a straight ahead sort of sensibility and the kind of currents of the current time, and they do a really good job. It's it's another one of those semi-obscure records that happen to come out on a major label. It's got demonstration stamped on it and on the label. They didn't even do white labels for this. So yeah, it came out on a major label, but my sense is there are not a lot of copies of this out there, and it's a good record. But it's a little I don't know. I could see why it wasn't a big seller, because it's I don't know, it requires you to kind of take it on its own terms, or it's not unlike a lot of maybe some of these 70s records that are really kind of giving you what you want. This one's kind of doing its own thing, and you have to go where they're going. Not making any sense. This is what happens when I have lunch with my friend who we get going and my brain is like blah. So, bear with me. And, not too many more records to go, so it's not going to be a super long video of Rodger ranting, okay? It's not. Unless that's what you want. Huh. Apparently, live videos are the thing, I guess I worry if I tried to do a live video, no one would watch, and it would be like just me speaking in the wind, But of course, that's what this is, too. I assume someone's going to watch this. Alright, another jazz record. What I've been kind of looking for, an ECM that is a really nice ECM record. What I've been looking for. Miroslava the Tus Group. Self-titled record from 1981. This is a lot easier to find on CD, actually. But this is a really, really nice ECM record. It's got Miroslava Tus on bass, John Sermon on soprano and baritone saxophones and bass clarinet, Kenny Kirkland on piano with John Christensen on drums. John Sermon, of course, great, right? Miroslava Tus and John Christensen. But Kenny Kirkland throws in this kind of, again, this sort of not straight ahead necessarily, but broader kind of sensibility. So this swings like hell, but it sounds modern and interesting compositions and stuff. But Kenny Kirkland brings a real, real swinging kind of thing to an ECM record, and it's great. It's beautiful. All right, I found this just recently. There's only one Mandrel record I'm now missing. This is Beast from the East by Mandrel on United Artists from 1975. Yeah, Mandrill. It was the VC that turned me on to Mandrill. This is really great. This is really great. I think the one I'm missing is the hardest one to find because it's got some break on it. But yeah, Mandrill, like I guess a funk band. You'd call them a funk band. But this also sounds really good. It's recorded and mastered by Kevin at Kendon. What's his name? Kendon Recorders. Yeah, anyway. He was like kind of the real great recording engineers of that era. Anyway, so yeah, awesome. Mandrill. It's more library music. The producer. TM Productions, which I assume stands for Tom Merriman. Produced by Tom Merriman and Jim Long. As y'all know, if I see library records and they're not stupid expensive, I buy them. And this is great from 1973. So right in the sweet spot, right? And so this is interesting because they're locked grooves, and I guess that made it easier to people using them as production music because it wouldn't accidentally go into the next thing. And so there's basically like 4 different cues, you know, musical beds or whatever, split up into the 1-minute version, the 30-second version, and then like a 10-second version, and they were all divided by locked groups. So you can't just put this on and listen to it, which is a little bit frustrating. Doesn't matter. It's cool because it has titles like Rock Rhythm Group with Synthesizer. Yes, and it's exactly what you would think it is. I've gone a little long, so I'm going to keep that music going. All right, just a couple more things. Donald Erb, music for instruments and electronic sounds. Reconnaissance on one side and No Strange Land on the other. Yeah, I got 2 of these None Such records recently. Here we got Computer Music by J.K. Randall, Barry Vercoe, and Charles Dodge. Let's talk about Donald Erb. Donald Erb, really interesting guy, who went on to do like computer-based stuff that's really interesting. And in fact, he does a lot of the DSP stuff in my Make Noise shared system. Really brilliant modules like the Morphogene and the Verb, you know, are his digital signal processing, but controlled by control voltage. Really cool stuff. And this is really, really good. You know, it's that academic composing, you know, synthesizer stuff. But I didn't realize that Donald Erb actually had a jazz background. And so there's I don't know, a playful element to the music that's often lacking in this kind of academic composed music. So it's not just like, you know, oh, instruments and electronic sounds and ooh, how exotic. This really holds up as music, I think. Really great. You know, it's not just interesting sounds, it's really good. This, on the other hand, the sounds are like, you know, it's early computer stuff, so very early digital, you know, very early trying to make a computer make sound. Here, this is done with Moog stuff, the electronic stuff. This is, you know, and so if digital oscillators hurt your ears, you know, I would stay away from this. But this is way more of the like bloopy. It just happens to be made with early computers, you know, that would take up my whole house. So it's okay, and you know, I collect this label and particularly these, you know, modern music things. And oh, that's it. Yeah, because I brought down a record you've already seen, and I'm not going to show you another record. And 24 minutes is more than enough of Rodger ranting about records and stuff. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for comments. I really appreciate it. Someone asked me about best synthesizer in under $1,000. Boy, I've really thought about that. Have you tried? Anyway, maybe I'll make a video about that sometime. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes and dislikes and subscribers and all of that social media stuff. Bless you all. I'll see you soon. Bye.